Alright, so I decided that I wanted to see if anyone wanted to play some 3-check on chess.com. 3 minutes. Seems like it's a good time control. So let's see if someone picks up my challenge. So there's my challenge right there. And, there's someone playing 3-check. So my rating is still provisional, so it's kind of inflated right now. And so, oops, I didn't want to play this. Can I abort this? Abort. Yes. Yeah, I want to play 3-check. That's what I want to play. Already played some blitz earlier today. Got a long game tonight over the board. Played some crazy house earlier. So I want to find something else. But yeah, so this guy probably has it set so I have to be under a certain rating. Alright, so we'll wait a couple minutes, or we might have to join one of these other games. Is that another 3-check there? No? That's a crazy house game. Well, we'll give this a few minutes. And if that doesn't work, we're going to have to do something else. What are these other games that people have going? 3 minutes, that's just normal blitz. Crazy house. Normal blitz. Alright, it doesn't look like we're going to find this. Let's see if anyone on Lichess wants to play some 3-check then. So, create a game. 3-check. Real time. Let's go 3-0. Rated. See if someone picks that up. So with the variants, there just aren't enough people that play them at this point to get consistent challenges, and there aren't enough people that, for some of the variants, that you get tournaments set up either. Like Crazy House, they have tournaments, and they might even for some of the others, but they don't for 3-check at this point, which is my favorite. Well, maybe not my favorite. Yeah, I think it's my favorite. Crazy House is good, but I think I still prefer Bug House because of the team aspect, so it just feels a little bit weird. And with Horde and Racing Kings, it's just a little bit too different. Alright, here we go. So let's make sure we're blocking off those diagonals. Okay, so this was already a mistake by him, because I get 1 check, and then he's going to push something, and then I'm going to get a 2nd check. And maybe he didn't know. Yeah, he left. He just resigned. I'm not sure he knew it was 3-check. So, those moves made sense maybe in a normal chess game, but yeah, a real quick win there. Okay, here we go. We've got another one. I'm going to go here. And it says he left. Does that mean that he's not playing? Are people accepting my 3-check game and realizing it's not 3-check? So if he doesn't make a move in like 20 or 30 seconds, then it'll either resign or abort the game. Well, someone's got to accept a 3-check game and know it's 3-check at some point. Pre-move enabled. That means that it's still waiting, I think. I might be able to just abort the game. Yep. New opponent. See, even on here, like my rating's provisional, and so it's inflated, but it's preventing people from playing. Look, here we go. This is a 3-check game. Yes. 5-2. Alright, this should be good. Okay, good. So we're both protecting our king, trying to keep the away. Interesting. Yep, I'm going to bring my knight out. Okay. And I'm going to fiend shadow my bishop too. So it doesn't look like we've played yet, but we have a similar setup thus far. And we'll see what he wants to do with his light squared bishop. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to bring my knight here. And he set up the castle, right, and I was wondering if he would do that or not. I'm going to play my bishop here, because I'm not sure if castling is a good move or not. I haven't decided yet how I feel about castling. Right, so he moves over to try and protect that king, and then I just want to move my knight in, eyeing this square right here with a check. I'm not really concerned about his bishop taking this pawn, because that's just going to give my rook the open file, which I should be able to use for at least a check. So I'm probably going to just take here, but we'll wait to see what he does. Yeah, so we're just going to take to get the check. I wish there was a safe square for my queen, and there might be. Okay, I'm gonna... Gotta find a way to get my queen on a safe square. And open up his king. See, I want to move my bishop here and just open up his king, but my queen's just not in position to do that. And so... let's just push the h-pawn. He still doesn't have any checks. My king's still safe, so we'll just push the h-pawn. And I'd be glad if he took this g-pawn. Okay, let's just keep pushing. See if he opens up another weakness. He does. Okay, so now we're just going to move the bishop in here. And... gotta find a way to get another piece going. Yep, alright, we're gonna bring this knight back and get him going. And once we have 2 checks, then he's completely on the defensive. So he's got to decide how to protect his king. And okay, so he decides to go for that g-pawn. Interesting. Okay, so he wants to prevent my knight from coming in. Don't blame him. Alright, I'm going to pull my bishop back. See, the thing is if I move my knight and get this check in, then wherever his king moves, I actually have a second check after that. So I can actually just give up my queen for those 2 checks. So we'll take here. Yeah, so he sees that, or at least he prevents it, even if he doesn't see it. And we're going to have to find a way to get my queen into this game otherwise. Alright, we can go rook here with the threat of taking this pawn for another check. I'm not sure if that's the best move, so he takes with the knight. And now we can take here with check, but our queen's not really active. So how do we fix that? Alright, we're going to push c5 and try and get my queen on this diagonal. So he still doesn't have any checks. My king's still safe. but he's trying to come in with some checks. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, so what are we going to do about that? I'm going to play the knight here, trying to take this bishop. And then if he takes my queen, I'm going to go ahead and take this pawn with my rook and try and get my knight in here. That's my plan. Okay, he takes there, which is what I expected. Oh, but that's it. That's 3 checks because... Yeah, okay, well that's 1 check. This is going to be interesting. If I took the bishop, he had queen here with just 1 on the spot. That's 2 checks, yeah, and then he wins. He wins there. Alright, let's see if he wants to rematch, because that was a good game. You saw we lost 78 points, so our rating is still quite provisional. It was nice to have above 2,000 for a little bit there. Let's move the bishop all the way out here, a little bit different than normal. See what he does about that. And then pull it back to here, just to put a little pressure on that square. And then let's move this knight in here. And then let's move this knight here. And fianchetto this bishop. So we got a little bit of a different setup, both of us so far. Ooh, that was interesting. Can't I just take that, though? I'm going to just take that. Because if he takes back, I get 2 checks. My bishop takes, and then it takes whatever blocks. Or it takes once and his king moves, which is still fine. So I think giving up the knight for a check is often a good idea. And here it's actually the knight for a couple pawns. The problem he has is he kind of has to take the knight, because otherwise I just get this check. And so I got my check anyway. And now, yep, alright, he resigned. See if he wants to play again. Yeah, he was in trouble there. We were going to get on the dark squares or move the queen out. I could take this bishop. There wasn't a lot he could do. Did he run away though? Yeah. Alright, well, played 2 games. See if there's a new opponent. Cancel rematch. Play. Create a game. Anyone else playing 3 check here? We'll give it a few more minutes and then we might just call it a day. We got a couple good games in. I wanted to get enough games that it didn't say my rating was still provisional, was the goal. Alright, someone joined. Yep. So you can see that e6 and e3 are the typical first moves because they form this kind of fortress around your king. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that. I do not know about that. I don't think I care if he sacrifices his queen for a check. We'll just put the knight there. And attack the bishop. We'll take the knight. I feel like as the pieces come off the board, we're going to be in better shape here. Attack the queen. A little bit risky because we're weakening this diagonal, but we're just going to go ahead and put our bishop on it. See if we can develop our dark squared bishop somewhere strong. Yep, right here looks like a good spot. Now I've even got ideas of castling since he doesn't have his light square bishop anymore. And that would get my king to the other side of the board compared to his queen. So that might be a good move here. His dark square bishop still isn't in the game. Okay, the queen moves back, and we're going to castle. So no checks for either side yet. Or did he get a check? Did he? No. I don't know what this button does. Give 15 seconds. Why would I want to give him 15 seconds? I want to press it just to see what it does. It just gives them 15 seconds. What's the point of that? I don't know. Alright. He's making it harder for his bishop to get out. So I guess he has the option to give me 15 seconds then if he wants. I can't give myself 15 seconds. I guess if it's a good game and you don't want to just stop playing because of time, I don't know. So I wanted to push the c-pawn, but obviously that leaves my bishop hanging at this point. So no good discovered attacks there. And it's kind of slow to move one of my rooks over. Yep, so he's going to bring the queen to the other side. And we are going to play here. Get both my bishops pointed at his king side. And see what he's going to do about it. Yeah, he's expanding on the queen side, which I don't think really does much in 3 check. So let's attack the weak pawn. Now, I'm a little hesitant to take the pawn just because the rook has chances to do something, but I don't think it's a huge deal at this point. His dark square bishop isn't in the game. The queen isn't threatening much. So he may have been too willing to trade those earlier pieces. The bishop pair is very strong in 3 check. Also, if it reduces down, coordinated rooks are basically unstoppable. Alright, he's down to 30 seconds, so he might just run out of time. But I think his position, even though materially it's pretty equal, I think his position is going to be very hard to play. I've also got ideas of playing my bishop here and attacking the queen. Okay, that's what I expected. So we're just going to take that. Yeah, and he didn't even take back. So let's save our bishop, and now we're just up a piece. Attack the queen. And see if he wants a rematch. So he played pretty well, just a little bit slow. He accepted the rematch. And let's look to sacrifice this knight for a check. Alright, we're just attacking the queen right off the bat. And guaranteeing us a check as soon as possible. But first, let's guard that knight. Just because the queen's in an awkward spot, we can develop my other knight with tempo. So just like any other version of chess, the queen coming up early and getting chased around without a plan is usually very good for the side that's chasing the queen. Yep, alright. So let's wait for this check. There's no hurry. See if there's a way for us to get in on those light squares. Alright, so he wants to trade his knight, which is fine. Trading, especially when it doesn't come with a check, is good. Alright, so he was hitting my rook, but now my rook's going to guard this bishop going to b2, and this is going to be a strong diagonal for the rest of the game for us. Notice that his bishops and his knights still aren't really developed. The knight doesn't have a great square. If it goes over here, that's probably his best option. It really can't come to f6 because I would just take it with a check, which would give me a large advantage. My dark squares are very strong right now. So let's hit the queen. Boom. So he's got to find another square for his queen that's both safe and aggressive enough that I have to worry about his queen. Last game I chased his queen around to the point where I no longer had to worry about it, which is ideally what you want. Alright, we're just going to push that pawn so I don't drop anything here. Yeah, if I pushed up 1, he could technically win it by taking with the bishop. I don't know if that would be a good idea or not, but this makes sure that I keep all of my material. And I'm still threatening to move my knight with check, which we're going to do now. Now we're going to go for that check. And then we're going to take this pawn. Now we're going to see if that bishop can work with my queen. Maybe we'll just keep the bishop pair instead of taking this knight, since the knight doesn't have great squares to go to, and see if we can break it down here. Alright. What do we want to do? We'll take the knight now, because if he takes my bishop, I'll keep my light square bishop. Then we'll take here. And, alright, maybe this was a mistake. Maybe this was a mistake. Alright, let's attack the queen. Make the queen move. This pawn's guarded by my queen right now. So I think what we need to do now is find a way to open up one or more of my rooks. Time is on our side. As you can see, he's down to 50 seconds. So again, that might be our saving grace. Alright, I can save my bishop now. So let's pull the bishop back. Oh, okay. And I guess we're going to go ahead and save that pawn also. He could have taken with his queen, traded off and gotten the open file for the rook, which probably would have been good. Alright, I'm going to actually rook lift here. So that maybe I can get something going. I'm even thinking about going rook. Oh, he queenside castled. Wow. Okay, that I did not expect. Alright, let's open up the queenside then. See if we can get an open A file and use this rook to win the game. So our king is still pretty safe, especially since he doesn't have a dark square bishop. Oh, didn't want to pre-move that. And we're going to take. So one way or the other, the king's going to have to get more open. Yep. And then we're moving queen here with the threat of going queen here, because unless the queen is captured after the first check, it always gets 2 checks in. So that's very important to remember. Okay. Attack his queen. Make it move. And so he's threatening to go queen here. So he's looking to get 2 checks in. So we're just going to retreat my queen so that he can't do that. Uh-oh, that was bad though. I take the bishop with check, and that's the game. Alright, does he want to play one more? No, maybe not. I think he left. Cancel rematch offer. Alright, well, that was 3 check for you. Some good games. Still provisional, but hopefully we'll be able to get a few more games in the future. And on Lichess, I'm at least getting some. On chess.com, it's very slow unless I try and set the 3 check games up beforehand, like coordinate with someone else that wants to play. Alright, I think that's going to be it for now. I've got to go prepare for my over-the-board game tonight, so have a good evening.